So, we've got 100 Zippo lighters. Why? So this is a set of 100 Zippo lighters. It was a magazine collection, and the person who was collecting this has sold the entire collection to me, and we're going to be putting them in some sort of container in this video. What that container is, however, is a mystery to me at this moment, because we're going to head out to an antiques emporium and a couple of antique centres locally around Northwich, and hopefully we can find something that is deserving to house all of these in a nice sheet of foam.
First things first, let's get them all organised on the table. So I'm really happy with all of those lighters. There's none that are broken or damaged, they're all immaculate. We've opened them all now. I think that's really helped give an idea of scale of how big of a case we're going to need.
We will be taking them out of the boxes, which makes them a bit smaller, and obviously we can put them a bit closer together, but we might have to have something with a couple of layers. But there's some great lighters here. There's a few that stand out to me. I'm a bit of a football fan, follow United, so this one stands out. This is number 86, football. Only a couple of these are licensed, so they can't actually put sports. They can't put a sports team. Go sports team.
Always root for the local sports team. Go sports team.
There's a few that kind of look a bit weird. I think we were joking that at the start you can see they've got some really beautiful designs. A nice silver inlaid one, this leather effect, gold, Battle of Britain, moon landing, another Zippo classic. That's 50th anniversary. And then as they get further down, it looks like they're running out of ideas a bit more and more until we get to this one here, Pelican. Pelicans are great, aren't they? But you know, I don't think there's many people out there who love Pelicans that much. They would want that lighter. But, you know, there's every niche, you know.
We're basically looking for a bit of a chest or a set of drawers, or maybe an interesting looking case of some sort that we can adapt, change, modify, and make almost a perfect case to house all of these. We're going to head off now and we'll see if we can find something deserving to house all of these beautiful Zippo lighters. So first stop is Barnton Antiques Emporium. It's a bit of a treasure trove. They've got a real mixed bag of stuff. I don't really know what I'm looking for. I think that's the beauty of this project. We've got a really cool collectible and we've got 100 of them, and I think they'll lend themselves to quite a lot of different things really. So maybe an old guitar case, or an old, you know, instrument case of some sort, or maybe something totally different. We'll have a walk around, we'll see if anything kind of jumps out at us, and then from there we've got another couple of places to go to. So first stop, Barnton Antiques Emporium. This is the kind of thing that we're looking for. So it might be a little bit difficult to make it work. So we had a few good options from the Barnton Antique Centre, but there was no obvious option. There was an Oriental box that looked really nice. There was a couple of jerry cans, there was a few other little bits and pieces, but there was nothing that really called to me as the perfect thing. So we're going to keep them in the back of our minds, and now we're going to head to Blakemere Craft Centre, which is in Cuddington, Sandy Way, not far away as well. And they've got a couple of little antique centres. They've also got a place called the Design Shed. It's quite new. They've got like loads of vintagey stuff, and I'm sure they'll have options as well. So we'll head over there. So there's a few good options in the Design Shed. There was like some industrial looking drawers, but they were all a little bit too big really. So we'd end up having like 100 lighters in there and then a bunch of extra space, which is going to look a bit weird. And we want something that houses the 100 lighters, doesn't really have any extra stuff in there. I think if we keep looking, we'll find something that was made for the job. So we're going to head across now to a place called the Reclaim Station, which is in Tarvin, I think it is. But it's not far from here anyway, it's just down the road. I've not been there before, I've heard about it. I mean, I thought it was a kind of just a place for slate and bricks and kind of outdoor reclaim stuff. But apparently they've built some amazing stuff there, and they've got like an antique centre now, so maybe they'll have something. So we'll head there next. What a place. I can't believe how cool Reclaim Station is. Sadly, they don't have any Zippo Lighter Collection Boxes, but you know, it was worth a look. There's one other place that I've not been to in a long time. It's in Frodsham, or on the way to Frodsham, so it's again not too far from here. And that's Lady Hayes Antiques Place. So it's called Lady Hayes. For some reason I want to call it Lady Hayes Garden Centre, but it's not. It's Lady Hayes Antiques and Collectibles. So we're going to head there. I think they've got 4 antique centres there to have a look around, so I'm hoping there's something. So we're back from our trip to Lady Hayes and we had some success. This box was from Boffy's Emporium at Lady Hayes, and thank goodness we found it, because I was losing faith that we were going to find something, but this box is pretty perfect.
Everything in my life is perfect.
And all we've got to do now is give this a sand and a clean up. We're going to pull out all of the felt. We've got a tray inside which we can clean up. And we've worked out we can have about 50 Zippo lighters on the bottom in foam and then 50 on the top. The next thing to do now is I need to pack all of these away somewhere safe, and then we can start cleaning up and sanding this box. We're going to put a piece of foam in the lid and a piece of foam in the base and then a piece of foam in the tray. So the sides are going to be pretty much covered, but we do want it to sit flush. So we've cleared the bases of both, cleared around the sides just enough. During the scraping progress, we've lost a foot. So we're going to have to glue that back on, maybe use a couple of pins just to pin that back on. Next thing to do is we're going to get the sander out, give it a sand. We quite like reusing and working in a sustainable manner, so I'm really happy to just pick up something like this that we can breathe some life into. The hinges are off. They were like weird nails. Not seen nails like that before. They've got like a weird barb on the side, and we'll hopefully get some tidier gold hinges. I'll get those sorted, I'll get them ordered online, and we'll also order some new latches. So that should look quite smart. Right, so we finished sanding the lid, and that's actually come up really, really nicely. It was the lid I was most concerned about, because obviously we want to put some text on here, and that's going to be the first thing you're looking at, really. It's going to represent the whole box, and because the corners were a little bit tatty and there was a few marks on it, I thought we'd have to spray it black, but now we've sanded it all, we've managed to get most of the marks out. There's only a couple of very minor ones, and I think that grain looks really nice, so it's probably going to take a dark stain really well. So next up, we have to sand the tray, and also we've got to sand the base of the box. Right, so we've sanded it all. The only thing we've got to do is glue this foot back on, and also the base of this little tray, the hardboard base, there's a little gap in there, and there's a bit of movement, so we're going to put a bit of glue in there too, so it's all nice and solid. And after that, the next thing to do is to go and get some stain. We need some dark stain to go on this. Yeah, we'll go for dark oak. Right, so we're back with a stain. We've gone for a dark oak, so we're going to give this a quick coat on all 3 parts, and it might only need one, but we might do a second one. So let's get started. Right then, so this should be dry. Yeah, that looks really good as well. I'm really happy with the colour there. We've got some gold hardware, which whilst this was drying, it did get delivered, which is great. And we're going to be putting, I did mention earlier about a design that we're putting on the front. We're going to be popping across to a local company called Store 101 shortly. They're really good. They've helped us out a few times in the past where we've just gone down there and they've done something straight away. So we're going to head down there and get the design printed. Essentially, it's a very simple, classy design, hopefully, or it will do when we put it in. I'm thinking gold lettering on the front. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to be just putting a sticker on, depending how well the vinyl sticks, or whether we'll be doing it like a stencil and then spraying it with gold. So one or the other, it should look really good regardless. And then we're going to be putting the gold hardware on the corners, on the latch, on the hinges. The box should be complete pretty much in the next 10 minutes. We'll get all this stuff sorted, get it all back together, and then we'll take the box to Store 101 and we can get the lettering done. Hey guys, have you subscribed to the channel yet? If not, it'd really help us out if you click that subscribe button and click the little notification bell, and then you'll get a notification next time we put a video live. With that being said, let's get back to it. Right, so that is all of the hardware attached and fitted, and it has really come together now. The lid's gone on perfectly square, the feet look mint, the hinges look really, really good, and finally these latches. We've gone for a very similar style to what it was, which is one left, one right. I like it, I think it's just that extra bit of detail. The last thing to do now before we head out is to add a little bit of ribbon. We don't want the lid to fall back. So we did just pop in It So Easy up by the library in Northwich to get a little bit of ribbon. We only needed a little bit of black ribbon, and the ladies in there were so nice to us and so helpful, and they wouldn't accept us paying for it. They just said, it's only a little bit of ribbon, don't worry about it. So thanks very much, So Easy in Northwich. And if you need any knitting and sewing supplies, bits and bobs, haberdashery stuff, check them out. Links in the description. This is do or die time really. We've got to try and get the logo on here, and hopefully that doesn't ruin it. Well yeah, let's head over to Store 101. Right, so we've got the design work all cut out in gold lettering, and I am a little bit unsure whether or not these are going to stick. They look really nice. They're probably a little touch bigger than I would have hoped for, but we're going to try this shadow foam logo first to see if it's actually going to stick. We're probably going to start with just one of these little embellishments, which is supposed to look a bit like smoke. So we're just going to give this a quick try and then we'll see. Right, that has actually surprised me how well that has stuck. I was a little bit worried that this vinyl wasn't going to stick properly to the wood. I think it's a little bit bigger than I'd hoped for, the graphics. Let us know what you think in the comments. And it's really effective. You can see exactly what we're going for. It's the Zippo Collection logo, which was on the magazine. It's made by Deagostini. It's 100 out of 100. It's the full set, and it's a unique piece made by Shadow Foam. The lid is so big and so plain, so it absolutely needed some sort of detail, and I'm really happy with how that's come out. This was all a bit of a stress getting all this sorted, but the foam is what I would think is the easy bit, but it is a lot of foam to cut. So we've got some foam cut already. We've got a piece here, which is for the tray, and we've got a piece for the base, and we've got a piece for the lid, which we have got to slit down a little bit. So we only sell foam in 30mm and 50mm. We actually don't have any 30mm at the minute. And yeah, let's cut some foam. Yeah, that's more like it. Right, so that is the first piece of foam cut, and I'm really, really happy with the grid there. I mean, it's really difficult when you're doing something like that. Well, it's not difficult, it's easy, but it's also easy to make a mistake, and that's where the stress is, that's where the problem is, especially when you've done 99% of it and you're on the last one or two. But we've got a really nice even grid. We've got 8mm, 8.5mm spacing. We've got nice and even spaces. So I'm really, really happy with how that's looking. Rather than cutting the other bit of foam now, I'll get a few positive endorphins going, and I'm sure it's gonna be quite satisfying putting 50 lighters into this tray, and we'll see what that looks like, and then we'll cut the next piece. That first tray alone is proof enough that this is a good idea. I mean, when I bought all of these lighters off Facebook, they were a fair bit of money. The grid is perfect. None of them are wonky. It's all nice and square, and the gaps are even all the way across. Left and right, we've got an even gap, and top to bottom. So that's amazing. We need to go and do a grid now for this bottom piece of foam. This bottom layer is slightly bigger, so the gaps will be a little bit larger. And then lastly, we need to pick up a little piece of black felt for this lid. Now, I was thinking about putting foam in the lid, but what we can see is the tray sits above and there's no space for foam. We're going to shoot out now and get some black felt. Hopefully we can find some to go in the lid. Right, so we're back from town and we managed to get a big piece of red felt. We'll do the sides first and then we'll do a nice piece in the bottom, and that should give us a really nice clean crisp finish. And hopefully we'll do a better job than the last owner of this box. The felt work in the inside of this box was ropey, to say the least. It had some blue felt, which was like original, and then some dodgy green felt, looked like it'd been cut with a knife and fork. So I've got some scissors, some big fabric scissors. I need to go and get some glue, and then we can get started. I don't think I'm going to be doing that regularly. It's just a pain in the neck to cut. It just does not want to cut cleanly. So if anyone's done it before, any links to any videos that are quite good that you've seen would be appreciated. I think what we've achieved in the end, I'm happy with. I think when you open the lid, it really pops nice and vibrant. So the only thing left now is the base layer of foam. Same again, same as the other one. We'll lay these out, tape one down, and then we'll start cutting. Right, so that is the foam all cut. Gets a bit nerve-wracking on the last few. You feel a bit nervous. I don't want to mess it up, but that's worked out really nicely, and it does look pretty mint in there. I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, we'll get the lighters in next. So I've loved doing this project. It's been a real special one actually for me. When I saw the collection, it looked amazing, but I didn't quite know how well it was going to turn out. I think that box was absolutely perfect. It was made for it almost. I had a couple of Zippos, this one and this one. This one's a relatively new one to me. And I knew the quality of them, but I didn't know the sheer range of styles and designs you could get. So I'd love to see, if anyone out there is watching this and you've got your own Zippo collection, I'd love to see how you store all your Zippos if you've got a collection. And you can head over to Shadow Foam on Instagram. You can tag us in your pictures there. You can send us a message or drop a comment below to a link to your video, or tell me how you store your Zippos. And let us know what you think of this, what you think of this project. It's a bit of a new one for us. Hopefully it's a new one to you. But if you like this video, check out some of our other videos. We've done some amazing projects. We've done this French cleat tool wall behind us. We've done power tool walls, workbench builds, loads of other cool projects like this. So make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you don't want to miss any future videos, click the bell and then you'll get a notification when the video goes live. Thanks for watching. If you like that video, why not check out some of our others? We've got new videos coming out every week. And Colin Furs, what's the quickest way for people to see these videos?
Subscribe.